In this video we're going to talk about key pair management in GPG. So key pairs can be used for asymmetric encryption as well as making digital signatures. Okay, so for example, in asymmetric encryption, the receiver of a message should have a key pair, and the sender of the message should have the receiver's public key, and he encrypts the message using the receiver's public key. And for digital signatures, the signer should have a key pair, and he needs to sign the message using his private key, and the verifier needs to verify a message using the signer's public key. Okay, so we won't talk about encryption or digital signatures. We're just going to talk about how to create key pairs, exporting a public key, deleting a key pair, and so on. Okay, so first let's do gpg-list keys, and this should list should list any stored public keys, and this means that we have none stored. Okay, and also there is gpg-k for short, and for secret keys there is gpg-K, and we can also see that we have none. Okay, so first let's start by generating a key. So gpg-gen key. Now we are trying to generate a key pair. So first we need to select the key pair type, so let's go with the default. Then a length, so the longer the better, it should be more secure, so 4096. Then whether the key expires, is this correct? Then we need to provide a name, so test1, an email address, so I have a temporary email ready, Ctrl+Shift+V for paste. Then an optional comment, O for OK. Then a password. This should protect our keys so that nobody can take your computer and use your key without your permission. Okay, so password. Then we need to wait, and we should move the mouse around or do some typing. Okay, now GPG is trying to generate a key, so it needs to generate a random bytes like it says. Okay, so this usually takes about a few minutes. Okay, so now GPG has finished generating our new key pair. So if we do gpg-K, we can see that we have one key pair. If we do gpg-k, you can see that we have one public key. So we have one secret key and one public key. Okay, so secret, the file secret stands for secret key ring, and public key ring. Okay, so next we need to learn how to export our public key. The idea about public private key pairs is to keep our private key pair secret and share our public key pair with anybody who wants to send us encrypted messages and so on. Okay, so to export a key, do gpg-export. Then an identifier, so the identifier can be the email address, or it can also be part of the name, or the short fingerprint, which is this value. Okay, so let's use the email, then redirect into a file, so and test1.public.gpg. the extension should be .gpg by convention, and here is our public key file. So this is not a text file. Okay, so if we use the --armor flag, or the -a flag for short, this exports our public key as an ASCII armored version, and the we should make the extension ASC to stick to the convention. Okay, so the ASCII armored version is our public key in ASCII format. So the advantage of this is that we can copy our key and we can send it over through email or any messenger or so. Okay, so this is how to export a public key. So the next thing to do is we can store our public key on a key server so that other people can find our public key. So there are many key servers. So this is the Ubuntu key server, public key server. This is the pgp.com key server and the MIT key server. So let's upload our key to the PGP key server. Okay, so we can either upload a file or we can paste the ASCII armored key, and it shows us our information. Okay, so this information is actually stored in the key. Okay, so an email has been sent. There it is. Verify, accept, and we're done. So if somebody else goes to keyserver.pgp.com and search okay, and uses our email and searches. Okay, first captcha. Okay, he should be able to download our public key. Okay, so this is how to share our key on a public key server. So I'm going to delete this later because this is just for testing. Okay, so we can now we need to learn how to import somebody's public key. Okay, so if we go to, this is the VirtualBox download page, and here we can see the Oracle public key for AppSecure can be downloaded here. So this is Oracle's public key. So we need to just copy it, make a text file, say oracle.pub, paste, okay, no problem. So then we can do, okay, so before we import the key, we can't actually read any information if we just look at the ASCII armored version of the key, but GPG can show us information about the key, about any key, key file. So we can just do GPG and give it the name of the file, and we can see that this is Oracle's public key, and we can add -v and -vv for a more verbose output. Okay, so we can see the key's fingerprint. So this is the public key block of the public key packet. There are subkeys attached to the public key, so we won't get into much details, signatures and so on. Okay, so to import the key, we do gpg --import and a file, and now we've just imported Oracle's public key. So if we do gpg -k, we can see that we have our public key and Oracle's public key, and if we do gpg -K, we can see that we only have our own private key, and that makes sense. Okay, so next we can actually generate more than one key pair. So I'm going to generate another key pair just like I did with the first one. So, and test2 mail address @gmail.com. Okay, so now I have generated another key pair. So if we do GPG dash capital K, we can see that I have two private keys, okay, and GPG dash small k, we have three public keys, one of which is oracles, okay. So by default GPG, so when encrypting files, or when creating digital signatures, or when decrypting files or creating digital signatures, so GPG should use the first private key by default. So to specify which private key to use, we can use the -- local user flag along with a key identifier, either this or this, or we can use also the -- default key with a key identifier, okay. And these are different commands. They okay, you can try them out. So I'm going to demonstrate this by making a text file, and I'm going to make a digital signature just for demonstration, okay. So to make a digital signature, we can do GPG -- clear sign output first key and message the text. Okay, so this is the text, and this is the digital signature using the first key. Now let's sign it using the second key. Then local user and an identifier of the second key, so the name will do, the email will do, or the short fingerprint. Okay. Oops. And paste. Oops. And the name of the file, which is message the text. Thank you, yes. Okay, so second key of text. Now I have signed using the second key. So to see this, you can do GPG -- verify first key. First key of text, and you can see that it is signed using /test1. And if you do GPG -- verify second key, we can see that it is signed using /test2. Okay, so more about this later in a video about digital signatures. Okay, so finally, to delete a key or a key pair, you can use delete secret key, delete key, or delete secret and private key and public key, I mean. Okay, so GPG -- small k. So to delete oracle's key, we can just do GPG -- delete key oracle. Yes, GPG -k. Oracle's key is gone. So to delete a key pair, so GPG -- delete secret and public key along with an identifier. So just do yes. GPG -k, GPG -k. So if you want to use if you want to delete the public and private keys one by one, we need to delete the secret key first. It won't allow us to delete a public key before the private key. Okay, so if we do GPG -- delete key and test 1, oops, so delete GPG, delete oops, delete secret key. No keys. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and stay tuned for more about asymmetric encryption, as well as digital signatures and so on. Okay, so thanks for watching.